Hello everyone, this is Ginger Pana. Welcome back to my channel. I'm here to share with you today a project that's been ongoing for maybe a couple of months now. I've been kind of playing around with all the rainbow yarn wrapped or yarn braided rainbows that everyone is making. Um, Natalie, who is put some bling on it, really inspired me on the braided ones. She has a tutorial up. There are many other crafters who have done this type of rainbows with the yarn. Scrap Diva, I believe Erica has a video up on how she did the yarn wrapped way. And so I will link both of their videos below. But when you search for yarn rainbows, you're going to find a lot of inspiration, tutorials, shares out there as well, and on Pinterest. And so, I'm sorry, Pinterest and Instagram. So I just wanted to show you what I've been making and some little things that I found was helpful to me. Um, I tend to be a little bit more meticulous when I craft, so I'm a very slow crafter. I'm hard on myself, and so I always redo things, but that's just me personally. And so I try to find ways to make it a little easier and nicer. Some of you crafters, you guys are so great. You guys can just, do it, and mine's I just need a little help sometimes. So here is what I wanted to share with you. First of all, I wanted to share with you the rope, and I live in Hawaii, so we don't have any of the name brand stores that you have, like Michael's, Hobby Lobbies. We don't have any of those here. I think the only thing we have here is Walmart, um, and now we have a Daiso. So yay, we have something. Um, so I found these two types of ropes in Walmart. Okay, so in the sewing section, so this one is from Simplicity and it is a cotton filler cord. So I bought this first. And I'm not sure if I saw someone use the cotton filler rope. And so this one is a little bit more dense. As you can see, I used it. This is my very first rainbow I made, maybe almost 2 months ago now. But I used it and I didn't cut. I think I started my wrapping too close to the end. So by the time I trimmed it away, there was just left a little fuzz on the end that you could barely see. So this one, it just puffs out because there's no individual threads or wrapping like the rope does. So this is a different, and it was a little harder to shape. So I like this though. I like the pudgy, it was pudgy look, and it's kind of not as, the arc is not as tall, but I think it looks nice. So it'll be nice on a project. So for this one, I did yarn, and these two are thicker yarn. And I think I got these from Walmart. And this one is just yarn I had in my stash, a yellow one. So if you look good, you can see that the yellow is not as puffy. I didn't have a puffy, um, it's all kind of fibers. I think it's from my wool mat. Uh, it's not as thick as this one, these two. And then I just put some bling that I had in my stash and these two bows I had in my stash just to embellish it a little. So this one you just glue it together, see, in the middle here. So this is my very first rainbow I made using this cotton filler yarn. Okay, and then I went back to Walmart and the shelves are bare because of the pandemic. Everyone's making masks or doing home improvement, so you really can't find anything. So I was lucky when I went another time. I found another bag of rope and just one more rope on the shelf, So I'm always finding the last of whatever it is. So I use this rope next in the rest of my projects. Okay, so this one you have to I'm sure the other crafters talk about it, but I put a piece of scotch tape at the end and then I cut right in between of the scotch tape length, and that way it doesn't unravel. And that's why you start off with a scotch tape, because if you don't, it's gonna start unraveling. Okay, And I think I did it the same for the cotton yarn. I'm not sure. I think I did. Okay, so my second rainbow that I made were these braided rainbows that Natalie showed us how to do. So this is I say my second attempt. I'll show you my first attempt after. But my second attempt, this is what I came up with. Okay. So I didn't make the bottoms as long as I guess I should have or wanted to. So this was, you learn as you go. And I used pom-poms to imitate clouds. I put a satin bow I had in my stash with flat back pearls. And these all hearts I had in my stash. Okay. And then here's at the back. I used a thicker foam glitter. This foam, not foam, but felt. So as you can see, there's glitter specks in it. And it's thicker. It's very, it's not as soft as your other common felts. And so I used this, but this I think I found it at a local craft store, but it's crazy expensive. It was like $3 a sheet. So I think I had two in my stash. So I pulled it out and I used it. I'm going to try find some other. I think Daiso has some thick felt. And if not, I'm going to maybe use some 110 cardstock, 110-pound cardstock and just layer it to make the thickness of it. And so I use this, but okay, now, so let's go backwards. So at first, this is my very first rainbow that I made. So as you can see, it's a little wonky. I don't know if the camera picks it up, but it looks like it's like a head with pigtails on it because it's not even. So I was not happy with this one. And my braiding, I kind of perfected my braiding. I put a pin at the top of my braid strand, like how Natalie explained it. And then you got your yarn strands here. But in order to hold it, I think she put something heavy on it. But I put a pin into my this mat, and then I started to braid it. And then I could pull it a little bit better, and it made my braiding a little bit tighter. See? And so this one I did, and I put something heavy on it, but it still pulled. I think I'm just too hard on my hands. And Natalie teaches you how to glue it onto your felt, and then you cut it away. But I didn't do so good at cutting away, and it came out. I think that's what made it crooked. And then I think when I glued it, I squished it together too much, and so this side came out good, but not this side. So they're kind of lopsided. So I put it on the side and I thought, oh, okay, I'm going to sleep on it because I didn't care for the way my rainbow came out. So then the next day I realized, hey, why don't I die cut out my shapes of my rainbow backs? So that's what I did here. So I made two sizes. And what I used was any oval nesting shape that you have. And this one, I had it from the MFT. And you can always hand draw it onto your felt using an object. But I used, what I did was I measured what I wanted the rainbow. So if I wanted, this was my first wonky one. So this is what I did. I kind of measured it as far as how I wanted the shape. So I got something close. So that's what I did with this big one. So I laid it on here, of course, this way. So I laid it like this on my piece of felt. And then I went in with a little smaller one. So I kind of used my first one as a template. So, okay, that one fits. So then I went into my felt piece and I lined it up. And I tried to make it as even as I could, at the edges. And I didn't measure it. I just eyeballed it. So then I got it. I put washi tape to hold what I needed. And then I started to run several different rainbow shapes through my die cut machine. Okay, so that's how I did it. Then I thought, okay, I'm going to make a smaller template. Because these are nice size, but I thought maybe if I wanted to make a charm, I wanted it a little bit smaller or maybe a smaller project to put on. So I think I used this one, the second one. So I lined it up and then I used the very smallest one and I put it right here. And I used my washi tape again and then I cut out the shape. So I think this combination was perfect because I needed to make sure I fit 3 rows of the yarn strands. And of course, you can always go bigger if you wanted to add 4 or 5. So you can always try to make a bigger um, rainbow backing. So this I found really helped me because I just needed something to follow. I can't cut straight and obviously now I can't glue straight. So this really helped me. Okay, so I made some backing. So I'm going to keep these two as my guide. So I'm not going to make rainbows out of these two. And then I still have to make the small one. I didn't make any small ones yet. Okay, so that's where I got my second one. Okay, so my second one looks like this. So that's with the die cut out shape. Okay, and then I went and I made this one. So, as you make it, you kind of know the feel of how to place it. You need it close to the next one so you don't see any air or the felt behind it, your backing, but yet not so close where it's going to overlap the layers. Because that's how I think what happened with my very first one. I started to get too close, and then that's why this side came. See, that's why this side came a little bit wonky and crooked. So this one I used white pom-poms as the clouds in different sizes. I made my strands a little bit longer. Okay. So I figure I'll just embellish it like this. I can always add things to it if I wanted to. And this is the third one. I left it really plain, but I used different colors of pom-poms again. I have gazillion pom-poms in my stash. I got some from Ali, I got some from Daiso, I got some from the local craft stores. Okay, so this is my third one that I made. So it's not a perfect cut, I think, or maybe just my gluing, but it works. Okay. And then I think Erica, who I learned how to, I watched how she did this yarn wrapped one. I used it with the skinny rope one and I made this one. Okay, so this is where I see it unravels. So here's the braided on the bottom. And then I just went around with, this is baby soft yarn. Now when I wrap them, I noticed that sometimes there's a gap when you wrap. So I kind of pushed it down to make it sure that I covered the rope completely, but I didn't push it down where it starts to bundle. It overlapped each other. I just pushed it down a little so it looked nice and even. And this, I just glued it together. And then this one was more pliable. It's flexible, so you could really shape it when you put it on your project as far as how tall you want it or how wide. So there's a little give to it. Okay, and I put some bows that I had made and some flat back pearls on here. And so this is how this one came out. So this is my most recent one. Okay, so I like the way it came out. So these are my rainbows inspired by Natalie and Erica. Thank you so much for the tutorial. You guys are rocking. You guys are just inspiring us all, sharing all your things and giving us so much inspiration during this pandemic. And thank you so much for everyone who's coming to watch me on my channel, my new subbies, my old subbies. I so appreciate all of you. And please stay safe and God bless everyone. And I will see you really soon. Bye.